What's up and welcome back to Cleats to Whistle podcast. I am Brad Valdez. The guy over there in the red and black shirt is Kevin Watson.
Red and black, baby. Red and black.
He is the co-host. Shout out to JJ Weaver and his foundation. He is the sponsor of this video today. Man, we got a good one tonight, man. Keith Towbridge, former U of L football player, a two-time state champ over at Cal.
Yep.
As a coach.
Back to
back as well. So this is a great podcast. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. Man, we're bringing you big stuff, man. I'm very excited. But Coach Watson, you got anything you want to open up with?
No, man, this dude, we go back a little ways coaching against each other, and I was super pumped when he said he could come, and he has a lot of knowledge and a lot to offer the kids around here, and I'm really excited to get it out there.
Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate you both for having me on. I've watched, I want to say, well over about 20 episodes of you guys that you guys have going on, especially now that you brought him over as well. This is big time platform. Not a lot of people in the city are doing this right here. So I want to just tell you guys, like, continue to keep going, continue to keep pushing forward. Like, this is huge.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it, man. Well, we're gonna jump. We got a lot of stuff to cram into this episode. But where we're gonna start off is where we always start. Is we all have a past, man. Yeah. Go ahead and show some love to some of your mentors.
It's a bunch of them. First and foremost, I want to give a big shout out to my parents. For some reason, when I grew up, I didn't necessarily have a ton of mentors. I just always looked up to my parents. My mom played basketball at a high level. She was Mrs. Basketball for the city, for Toledo. She did everything. She went to Ohio State to play basketball. She ended up getting pregnant with my sister her sophomore year, so kind of like had to stop playing that. But then ever since that, she's poured into me as well, my pops as well, for the most part, play sports as well. But then big shout out to my head football coach, former head coach at Central Catholic, where I went to high school at, Greg Dempsey, who is at a powerhouse program at Toledo Central Catholic, who's freaking amazing. Greg Dempsey, my uncle Johnny as well, and then also one here, Hunter Cantwell. Hunter doesn't get a lot of credit that he deserves, which he should. He does not get a lot of credit, but
great guy.
Hunter is a phenomenal human being. When I tell you phenomenal, like, by far one of the best people I ever met in my life.
He is a great coach, but a better person.
Oh, my goodness,
if that's
man.
even possible. He's a better person.
He treats his wife with the utmost respect, treats his kids. His kids are always around, wife is always around, and he treats the kids that are necessarily not his kids like his. And you can tell by the way the guys gelled as well. And then last but not least, the biggest one in my life would be Sharon Moore, head football coach now at University of Michigan, who was my recruiter to get me to U of L. We talk often, as much as often. He's been giving me some tidbits, some keys to success and how I can kind of continue to keep moving this thing forward too. So it's been huge. So I want to just give a shout out to those 4, 5, 6.
It's a list, man, and it's some great names. You know what I mean? You got to respect the parents, man, for showing you love and making you a upstanding, good human being, man. Yes. And that's what it's about.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of disappointed you didn't shout out Lamar, man. I mean, if I played with Lamar, that would be the first name I said.
Well, the good thing is you
got to throw the goat in there, man.
Also Lamar too for the aspect. But I honestly think, to be honest with you, I may have been a mentor to him because when he first came in, it was my junior season. This is when he came into the game. We were in Atlanta. And his first passing attempt was an interception.
Throwing it to you?
No. It was an interception against Auburn when we played at Atlanta.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
His first passing attempt was an interception. And ever since that day, man, he's transformed. About to win his second MVP. He's a phenomenal human being. He's literally like one of those guys where it's, if he doesn't necessarily know you, he's not going to talk to you. But if he knows you, he's going to spill the beans. He's going to be who he is, etc.
Is it fair to say he's really misunderstood?
Yes, extremely. He doesn't really say much. Of course, he's also a Florida kid, right? So they come from a different background. They come from a different way of life to where, like, the way they express themselves is by playing football and not by being in the media or talking to people that they necessarily don't know. The way they express their game and the way they express themselves is literally playing football because that's all they know, being from Florida too. So that's why they're a little bit different than everybody else. But I think Ohio football is a little bit better. So.
Hey, and this is where another question is, man. Where did you grow up, man? We talked off camera. I am from Ohio, from Toledo, Ohio. Boy, I was raised on LaGrange Street. We were just talking, man, chopping it up, and man, it was good to actually see a cat from Toledo, Ohio, man.
Yes. So I'm from good old the mud, as we call it.
Yep.
419 Toledo, Ohio. Shout out to everybody that's there, who's ever listening, whoever is from Toledo. So feel free to let me know. There's not a lot of people in Toledo that's here in Louisville. So that's big time. But outside of that, again, I'm from Toledo, Ohio. Born and raised there. Was there all the way until I was 18 and decided to come to school here in University of Louisville. And I call this home now, too. Met my wife. Have a kid on the way. Like, I met everybody here. So all my connections are here. Basically treat everybody like family. So
love it, man. And you obviously played, like here they call it Little League. You know what I mean? Did you play like Pop Warner or whatever up there?
Yeah, so what's so funny is, man, so I was actually a running back. That's freaking hilarious to even think about that. But I played running back for the Larchmont Steelers on the west side of Toledo, near Start High School. I wore number 8. I was a running back. Funny story, man. I freaking had a high ankle sprain going into our championship game. We played at the University of Toledo, and they literally gave me the ball 20 times a game. 20 times a game. But this time at state championship, they gave me the ball 30 times a game. But I had a high ankle sprain, and I couldn't play, and I cried my tail off, and and we ended up losing. But then I got too big because I had a high ankle sprain. So then I got moved to the line. I played defensive end. And then after that, man, I moved into quarterback. When I got to my junior 7th to 8th grade, I played quarterback. And then I got moved back to defensive line because I got too big because of the weight classes and weight limit that they have in middle school.
Sir.
You got to wear the green dot or whatever it is on the back of your helmet too. So played Little League there, but then had the chance to go to the best high school in the state of Ohio, which is Central Catholic. I think we have a total of 10 state championships. And I want to say since I left 2012 when we got ours, we've had since now I want to say 6 of them since 2012. So freaking huge and very, very, very pumped that I went to that school, Toledo Central Catholic. So,
and talk about, you know what I mean, the difference from Ohio ball and Kentucky ball. You know what I mean? We get here in Kentucky, you know what I mean, it's a bad rap, you know, a basketball state. You know what I mean? But are you seeing like some talented kids here?
Man, it is some very, very talented kids here. One thing that I can't tell you about Ohio football is running the football is very, very well known in the state of Ohio. Like, you will get all types of triple option sacks. Same thing is here. You get triple option, you get I formation, you get West Coast, you get spread personnel. But running the football when it's cold outside in November, December is where you win football games at. And I just told the guys today during our install of PRP is, man, listen, like, I want to be able to establish the run game. You establish the run game, that dictates the pass. That means teams have to play you man-to-man. That means they got to put more in the box. And that also means that the receivers that we have or whoever you're coaching at or wherever it is, that means your receivers get an opportunity to play man-to-man coverage and be the best version of themselves and win one-on-one matchups. So that's the biggest thing in Ohio, man. But running football, kids are a little bit bigger in Ohio. I still think this state is a basketball state, which maybe it is. I'm not for sure. I'm not for sure what you guys think it is, but I think Kentucky is a basketball state, but Ohio is definitely a football state. Just because the amount of guys that go to Big Ten, of course, the guys that go to the MAC. We have tons of freaking colleges in Ohio. I just thought about that.
Yeah, tons, man.
Tons of colleges in Ohio, but I think really the size of kids are a little bit different in Ohio than they are in Kentucky. But then also in Kentucky, you got a little bit more kids who are very skilled, athletic, jump out the gym, can move lateral, can move in different directions, and guys that can go get it. But I think the size of kids are probably a little bit different than it is in Ohio than it is Kentucky.
I think that's a fair assessment.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, basketball state. I mean, you know what I mean? And that's why we're trying to bring this platform so we can spotlight some of those guys. You know what I mean? We're going to be at PRP spotlighting you guys, man. So it's going to be a very exciting time. And that's what it is trying to get that narrative, you know what I mean, kind of out of people's minds.
Yeah.
You know, but we've had so many great athletes coming out of here. Rondell Moore,
yes,
he's from Indiana, but he played ball here.
Yep.
So it's just crazy that the stigma that we get. But yeah, basketball state, yeah. I agree. Coach, you do too?
Oh yeah. It's Ohio, Florida, Texas. It's different.
Well, also too, man, and I think this is a big thing. I think JCPS need to change is we got too many freaking schools here.
Amen.
It's too many schools in like a 2-mile radius. Like if you think about just the south The south end were Moore, Fern Creek, J-Town. Who else is all in that area? Seneca, Southern, Atherton. It's 6 schools in a matter of.
Oh, look at Dixie Highway.
Valley,
Western, PRP, Butler.
Right. I think, and that's the thing about Ohio. Like, we don't have that many schools. So if you put it in that aspect where you got 4 schools on Dixie Highway, you put that in one school, that is a powerhouse. You know how many kids you can get?
Yeah.
I've said for years, if you merge, say, Valley, Western, and PRP,
Oh my goodness. Oh my God.
I mean, what a
And you
throw Doss in there.
Yes, and you take their districts and you combine them into one. There's no kid that's going to get the Trinity, no kid's going to get the Cal, no kid's going to get St. X. All the kids, and especially if you got the coaches to do so, oh man, there's nothing that can stop it. That's why I think the county schools.
It's watered down.
Yes.
You take those. I mean, every school has 3 or 4 kids that are just ballers.
Yes.
You take 3 or 4 from 5 different schools and put them in one, you got a squad. I mean, and PRP's loaded with talent year after year. They always have athletes. You throw them 6 or 8 or 10 more athletes to that bunch.
Yeah. That's why I always say, like,
You got an Ohio school.
right. I've always wanted to compare myself to Boyle County. I think it's Coach Haddix. That's his name.
Yes, sir.
And he runs a phenomenal program, and that county runs through Boyle. What is it, Danville? That's next to him as well.
Yep.
It used to be, but I heard a rumor that Danville used to be the
Danville
top-notch.
was the dog.
And then now Boyle County came into play, and now they've won 4 straight championships. The way
we went to camp with them for a weekend this year.
Was it fun? How was it?
No, it was awful. Awful. You learn a lot about yourself pretty quick. We played with them, but we had 2 brawls the first day. I mean, it was crazy.
I love that.
We loved it. I mean, it was great. It was the best thing ever happened to our kids.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like when we played with you guys at Cal.
Yeah.
We made each other better.
Right, for sure.
Year, the first year y'all won the state championship, we beat y'all in a scrimmage.
Yep.
And I've never heard Hunter.
He went crazy.
He cussed. I mean, I don't know if he cussed or not, but he should have.
He should have.
And after the game, we both said, this is the best thing that ever happened because I think we woke your guys up, and it let us know that we could play with anybody.
Yep. And that was the year that you guys went far in the playoffs, correct?
That was the year we went 11-2.
Yep.
And if we wouldn't have played you guys early, that was the greatest thing. I mean, I can't say enough about
Hunter. Says that the same. He says that literally every single time. Like, even this year, he brought it up. He said, like, literally every time that we have a first scrimmage, it's always against somebody that Cal normally does not play. And the fact that you guys at that time, for what was that, 2022, put it on us from the very first snap. Jay Sean Shannon took that screen 80 yards down the sideline. And I think the halftime score was 21-7. We were down 21-7. We were like, what?
And you guys murdered everybody that year. I mean, just destroyed them.
Ever since that scrimmage, it woke us up, and they literally.
Now, let's be honest. We couldn't touch the quarterback.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That had a lot. I told my kid, this is fool's gold because we can't tackle the quarter. And that was his game. He would get outside the pocket, and he'd take off.
Yes.
And we couldn't touch him, and I was like, yeah, that's great. We beat Cal, but that's not a real game.
I totally forgot about that. That is funny.
Okay, we're going to get back with you, Coach, now. The number you wore, did that have a special meaning to you?
Oh, man. So, 89, I've had that number. So my head coach, Greg Dempsey, gave me that number my sophomore year. I think it was one of his friends or best friends must have passed away. And he was like, man, I would love to at least give you this number 89 number because I know you were treated well. You played tight end. He also played tight end as well for the most part. So ever since that day, my mom graduated in 89. Wow. I wore number 89. So I was like, I think that number was huge
that's awesome.
For me as well. So I've been wearing 89 until I got to the NFL. So my rookie year at Buffalo, I was number 89. I got injured 2 days before the first preseason game, and then somebody else took my 89. So then the following year I wore 86, and then I wore 47, and then I wore 86 again. So like I didn't see 89 after my first year at being at Buffalo.
Wow.
But I missed the number. That is one of my favorite numbers. I wore one of the guys at Cal was like, Coach Towbridge, can I wear number 89? I said, yeah, man, I would love for you to do so. And that was the last time I've seen 89. I don't think nobody at PRP has it now, but that 89 number is definitely special to me. I've been wearing it since I was a kid, and I'm low-key kind of pissed that I couldn't wear it after that. So
NFL is a different animal when it comes to numbers. Though.
You are right about that one.
Yeah, and you've played so much ball. You know what I mean? You played at Louisville. You were in the NFL, man. But what's that one moment, man, that you'd like to share with us?
You know what? I think the biggest moment probably of my career was probably just my second year back being in Buffalo. I had the game-winning touchdown in our last preseason game against the Chicago Bears. Literally game-winning touchdown. I can remember the play. I had a drag route with the dig coming across, and I'm literally the first read. It was man-to-man coverage with 20-some seconds left, and I had to beat the linebacker across his face and scored. And that was a day where I kind of was like, I know I can be here. I got released. I got fined because I wore some white and blue J's, Jordan cleats. I got fined. Just so you guys know, you can't wear white and blue Jordan cleats. Got fined, but then I also got released that following day, but then also got picked back up literally 2 days later in Buffalo. And I was on practice squad. And that's kind of where I knew I was like, man, I think you really deserve to be here. And then that was kind of really my chance to really take off and take advantage of that opportunity. I kind of sort of took advantage of it, bounced around the following year on team to team, but I kind of was like, man, I think you really deserve – well, not deserve it, but I think you really need to be here type stuff. So I think it's probably really like the defining moment of what that looks like. But on a good note, as far as college, the Florida State game, we blew Florida State out. Was that 62-10?
Yeah, it was a phenomenal game.
College game day was here.
Wild.
Phenomenal.
That's the craziest crowd I've ever seen.
Dude,
literally.
It was nuts.
There's a video of me with somebody else's phone in the middle of the stadium screaming "Go Cards" and Lamar's behind me, and man, that was probably the best year or game that I've ever played in. Just because that was the year that Lamar put himself on the map. That was the year that we were ranked 6th or 7th in the nation before we played Clemson. That was the year that we were literally supposed to be it. So I think that was really like probably the best freaking game that I played in. I've actually played well in that too. You see me blocking guys, but Lamar Jackson flew right by me, so I really couldn't touch nobody. So,
hey, it was funny. Hey, you know what I mean? Let's bring that Twitter comment up, man.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Your coach over there called you out, man.
Listen, man, I couldn't do anything about it. He's literally blown by guys. He's running the read option. I'm arcing for the safety, and I'm trying to go block the safety, and here he goes.
Lamar had a way of making people look slower than what they were.
You are correct about that one.
That comment showed up. I was like, damn, coach, you really had to put him on blast like that, man?
I kept rewinding, and I was like, who's this slow dude that's running in front of Lamar? And I was like, damn, that's Toe, man.
Yeah, that's me, man. He literally did it multiple times throughout the year. I couldn't do anything about it. I can't do nothing about that.
Hey, that's one of those where you just tip your cap and
say
thank you for being on my team.
I'll see you in the end zone. How about that?
Yeah, let's celebrate there, man. What you know what I mean? What got you wanting to coach? You know what I mean? The funny thing about this is the Cleats 2 whistle. Uh-huh. The whistle means is the second chance of being in the game.
Oof. So
it's like you're a player. And then the last is your coach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's why if you ever see the 2, that's the meaning behind the 2.
I like that.
And it gives me chills, man, because you know what I mean. You're such a big personality. Mm-hmm. You played the game, and you wanted to get into this, man, and give back, man. But what was your why about coaching?
I think my why is, and I'm pretty sure it might be a lot of guys that don't think like this, man. But I had a mediocre college. I had to take that back. I had a mediocre playing career from high school to college to NFL. Like, I was very highly unrecruited in high school, underutilized in college, and then underutilized in the NFL. So, like, I think that kind of what motivates me is like, man, I know what it takes to get there, but I want to be able to maximize everybody's opportunity because I didn't get the opportunities that I got when I was in high school. I was just, God blessed me enough to be 6'5", athletic, and I had to kind of go out and go get it. So I'm like, man, how can I make things a little bit easier for athletes who are similar to myself or came from different backgrounds? How can I be able to teach them the game and teach them how I made things a little bit easier for myself? Because I wasn't, again, I underutilized, but I had to take advantage of my opportunity. I was smart. Playing tight end, you're literally the quarterback's best friend. You are the
safety valve.
You are the safety valve. You are as a tight end, you are an extra offensive lineman, but then you're also a bigger wide receiver. So you kind of got to be able to be best of both worlds. You got to know the language for the offensive line. You also got to know the language for the receivers as well. So I was very smart. So I utilized, okay, well, if I know I'm not the biggest, I know I'm not the fastest guy, but I know I can be in a run game. Well, I know what my defender's doing in front of me. If he's in a 6-eye technique and his outside and his inside leg is back, he's going where? He's going inside. So I kind of set myself up for success just by studying, knowing my assignment and game plan. So I'm like, that is like the small things that I want to get back, because some guys don't necessarily know it. Like, you got offensive tackles in his right hand stands, and you got a freaking defensive end with his inside leg back. Where is he going to go? His first step is inside anyway, right? So I want to be able to kind of give that to guys, because I didn't have that given to me. I kind of had to go out and go get that and go fetch for the information and go search for that and let that be the driving force in the aspect. But then also too, man, we all ask for opportunities. Everybody does. And we got to be able to exercise that, but also take advantage of it. Opportunities come a dime a dozen. We all don't get them. So these guys are asking for an opportunity. Here's the opportunity. I'm going to give it to you. Now, what are you going to do with it? So that's really kind of the biggest thing why I got into coaches, because I had a mediocre college career, mediocre college, NFL, high school, whatever it looks like, playing career. But I'm like, man, my career is a little bit different than everybody else's. Their story is a little bit different. So why can't I be able to change someone else's so their career isn't like mine? And that was kind of the biggest thing. Why
Great answer, man. Great. I mean, not everybody's humble enough to say I had a mediocre career.
Listen,
you played in the NFL and you had a mediocre in your mind.
I tell this story all the time. My senior year, I had 2 catches for 22 yards my senior year at U of L. 2 catches for 22 yards. You mean to tell me that a guy with 2 catches for 22 yards lasted 2.5 years in the NFL? There was no way in, excuse my language, hell, that anybody should even deserve to be in a position to be that successful. I mean, not successful, but get that opportunity. Mm-hmm. I got that opportunity in my pro day. I ran fast. I jumped higher than everybody that was in the thing. I had 2 top 30 visits. Normally when you get a top 30 visit, you get drafted. 2 top 30 visits to Tennessee and also Minnesota. I also was to get drafted in 2017. Didn't get drafted. I was a free agent. Buffalo picked me up right away because they didn't have any more picks in the draft. And I'm like, dude, here's an opportunity. Like, take it. This is what it is. So, but literally, man, 2 catches for 22 yards, you don't make it nowhere. My senior year, I had 25 catches for 300, and I had 6 touchdowns all in the playoffs. But after the playoff and state championship run, here comes all my offers. So, like, being underutilized in every aspect, every step of the way was kind of a little bit different, but I don't want everybody's story to be that way.
Yeah.
I don't. That's not what I want to do, what I want it to be. I want them to write their own story, but also give them the keys and the opportunities to dictate their own story, dictate their own opportunity too. So
love it, man. Love it, man. This is another great podcast, man. We're trying to bring you great content from great men that are going to be leading his players, man. And this is what it's all about, is getting to know him on a personal level. He's going to be a friend of the family. You're a friend of the pod. You know what I mean? So the next time you come on, we're going to be doing a lot more for you and your in your program. But we're not done yet, man. This is just me telling you, man. I'm excited for you. It's firing me up, man.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is it's not really my program. It's Brandon Dunn's program now at PRP. So it's okay, but I'm just an extension to him.
Yes.
He's a first-year head coach. I had aspirations to be a head coach, but I think God had bigger plans for me. I think God was just kind of like telling me, listen, like, you got a lot of things going on. Not everybody's supposed to be a head coach. Maybe you're just supposed to be offensive coordinator. Maybe I could just focus on offense and offense only, and I got to focus on everybody else. So I'm just here to kind of just lead him and guide him throughout this entire process after learning from Hunter Kentwell for 4 years, and kind of just give him the keys to success and let him run with it, because it's his program. I don't have anything to do with it. I just coach the offense.
He gets the wins and losses, man.
I just coach the offense.
I just missed Brandon at PRP. I came right after he left and coached at PRP. So, but I coached both of his brothers, BJ and Delvon. Delvon's on the staff now?
Yes. So when I told him I was going, he said, man, tell him I said what's up. He said, tell
Delvon's my guy, man. He was tougher than a $2 steak, man.
And that's why I want to run the football, man, because he was tough.
Oh yeah,
he was tough.
Hey, and now, you know what I mean. Let's get back into like dealing with stress. Yeah. You know what I mean. Yeah. You played, U of L. You talk about the stress and the struggles of getting 2 catches. You know what I mean. Tell us about how you deal with that stress.
I think it's us athletes, man. We're built different. Guys, just any athlete, soccer, baseball, golf, I think we're built a little bit different than the average person. Just because of every second, every minute, every play, every hour, it's a challenge every single day. So we're so used to just brushing things off our shoulders.
Right.
We're so used to just keeping things moving and don't worry about the next play, as we call it. I mean, don't worry about the last play, worry about the next play. Like, we're just so used to that, and that's just natural to us to do so. But the stress of it is always going to be stressful. But I think we have an upper hand on a lot of people just in the real world aspect as well, too. Like, man, like, again, we've done it all. We've seen it all. We've gone through all of the stress. We've gone through all of the disadvantages and stuff like that. But how I necessarily managed it, man, was talking to my mom. Like, my mom was literally, that's my best friend's my dog. And she, of course, she plays sports at a high level, so she understands it. So I was like just throwing stuff off of her, and my wife as well, is for the most part too, man. That was kind of really the main thing, how I kind of managed my stress. And then at the end of the day, we're athletes. We got to brush things off our shoulder. We can't let, that last play dictate the following play, because especially in NFL, you let that last play dictate the next play.
They're coming right at you.
Yeah, they coming right at you. They gonna see blood, they smell it, they can taste it, and then let alone they come and attack you again. You may be fired that night. So it's a little bit difficult in the aspect, man, but it's hard to explain as to how, like, we kind of manage stress, because we literally just so focused on the next play. So it's a little bit different, but I think the biggest thing is really just kind of just talking it out.
Yeah, and have that support system.
Yes.
That and like, you know what I mean? Like, I talk to my wife, man. If I'm having a stressful day, hey, I gotta get it out. You know what I mean? And that's just, having that at home is such a great thing.
Yes.
And mom, you always got to lean on her, right?
Yep, absolutely. And then also too, as far as like the coaching aspect, I just kind of want to bring that in here too. Like, for the kids that don't have that support system, I want to be there for those guys. I've been there for a month and a half, and guys call me every night. I have to turn my phone on Do Not Disturb at 10:30 because my wife's like, do not pick up that phone, because they're always calling you. But it's like,
you got them.
Yeah, but it's like I got them already. Yeah. And it's like, well, how can I be of service to them and not a disadvantage to them? So, like, being able to just answer that phone call if they need me.
Love it.
Or they need to bounce something off their chest that they can't talk to coach.
And that's why you're where you're at.
Yeah.
Everything happens for a reason, and those kids needed somebody.
Yeah. I think that's what it was too, man. I was like, I was so bummed about the head coach stuff, and I kind of went about it the wrong way after then, and I definitely regret it, and I'm definitely learning from that. But I think the biggest thing is too, like, I think, like I said, God had a bigger plan for me. And I think being at PRP was like, here's your new challenge. Like, this is a challenge. You were so comfortable here. You were great here, won state championship here. Now, what's next? What can you do next? Can you handle this over here? Can you get these boys to play well? Can you get these boys to act right? Stuff like that. So just wanted to bring that into the coaching aspect, because it goes hand in hand too, as far as stress. Like, for the younger kids, man, I'm here. If you need to talk to me, man, if you don't got that at home, here, come call me. Call Coach Toe. So
I love it, man. I love it. This has been a great podcast. Hey, we got a few more questions, Coach.
Yep.
Any superstitions?
Oof. Man, so my mom's going to crack up laughing when she hears this. So my mom, I don't know when I started this. I have 3 of them. So high school, my junior year of high school, our colors were red, white in high school, red, white, and like a Irish green. Our alternate jerseys were green. So every time we wore the alternate jerseys, we won by a lot, and I played extremely well. But then also in that aspect, I wore green spandex, like green, what do you call them? I think they're spandex.
Girdle?
Yes, girdle. I wore a green girdle. So every time that we played, I wore my same green girdle. I couldn't play well without my green girdle. My mom was like, you're killing me with this damn green girdle.
Would you wash it?
Yeah, I watched it.
Okay.
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you for that.
I know dudes that go the whole season don't
Me
wash.
too. Me too. I do not as well. But
That's sick.
But literally, like, she had to make sure, like, if I forgot my green girdle, she's literally like rushing up to the school and throwing it down the thing, and I'm like, I'm not going out there until I get my dang on green girdle.
That's awesome.
Well, then that aspect as well. The second one is I stopped doing it now since I stopped playing ball, but I used to have Starburst. I'm a Starburst candy creep, as my mom calls me, and I used to have a Starburst in my sock. I would eat it right before I go out to pregame. I don't know why I started that. I don't know why, but I literally had it in my sock. It's all sweaty. Once you wrap it up, it's sticking to the paper, stuff like that. But I used to have just a Starburst in my sock. Wow. And I used to eat it before pregame. I don't know why I did that, but it was just something that I did all the time. I'm like, man, you like Starburst that bad that you want to eat a sweaty
Hey,
one?
Marshawn Lynch had his Skittles, and you had your Starburst.
Yes.
There you go. There.
Yeah, so mom was like, man, you get to the NFL, you need to get a Starburst deal because you literally
yeah.
eat Starburst all the freaking time. My wife literally buys me Starburst and puts it in a mason jar and dumps them all in there, and they'll be gone about 2-3 days.
Well, you know you're going to have to give them to the kids.
Yeah, I know.
Well, you like the jelly beans?
Now that it's out there, the kids are going to want them.
Yeah, I know it.
Yeah. You like the jelly bean ones?
I'm not really a fan. I'm an old school guy.
Old
Man.
school,
I like the regular.
Get the wrapper.
Yeah, I like.
Yeah,
the
you know
wrapper.
what? I think we got right back here. We got the pink wrapper. So
Yes, my wife comes into the room. She takes all the pinks and yellows, so I'm stuck with the reds and oranges.
hey,
That's okay.
yeah, that's all right, man. I like that. I remember my two favorite colors right there, man. I love it, man.
But yeah, so my green girdle in high school and then freaking Starburst in my sock, man. I still can't believe I did that. That's crazy.
That is
What was
crazy.
number 3? You said you had 3.
I can't remember. I think I was just so stuck with the Starburst. I'm like,
Yeah.
That's great. That's
been a long-
great one.
it's been a long
I've never
time
heard that before. That's awesome.
oh, also, so I listened to the same song like 18 times, and this is it. This is gonna be the one that's
here
gonna
we
get
go.
you.
Let's see what it is.
So big time Miley Cyrus fan.
Really?
So
Really?
I started this in high school as well.
Party in the USA.
You are right about that one. That is literally my favorite song, like number one. I don't care what other songs comes with it. Party in the USA by Miley Cyrus, I know from front and back. I know the ad-libs. I know when it starts, when it ends, all of it. I used to play that song literally like 20 times before I went out for pregame. I don't know why. It kind of just was like soothing to me and let me relax. But Party in the USA.
Really?
Don't know.
This
Man.
is info nobody else
Yeah,
will
yeah,
ever
yeah.
get.
This is wild.
Miley Cyrus. Wow.
Miley Cyrus.
That just blew my mind.
Yes, Miley Cyrus. That's
Miley.
crazy.
Okay, and like any hobbies, away from the game, man. You got to shut it down sometimes, man.
Yeah.
And you got any hobbies?
I'm starting to get into Call of Duty. I'm a video game guy. I need to start streaming. I started this in college. So me and my roommate, my brother Kyle Bolin, used to play quarterback for U of L. We were roommates for 4 years, and he was in my wedding and stuff like that. So in our room at Cardinaltown, I used to grab a sheet of white paper, just regular paper, and used to tack it onto my wall into my room. I used to put Madden on there, and anybody who came into my room and wanted to play me in Madden, they had to either put a win or loss against me. But then it was also for money, so that's kind of where I started. Like, oh well, you're really dang on good at video games. So it was either Madden or 2K. So I'm a big time Madden 2K player. Outside of that, I got into hunting. Hunter Kentwell and Jay and all those guys got me into hunting, and I freaking love it. I literally want to go every year now. I still have deer meat from 2022 still in my deep freezer that I'm like, I still eat.
It may be time to start getting rid of that.
I know. It is. I know.
I know a guy who will take it off your hands.
For sure.
Especially the tenderloin.
So hey, that's a big hint right there, Coach. He likes deer meat.
Yeah. So hunting, but then also just doing some home. I love cutting grass. Put my headphones on. I think that's kind of just a peaceful.
I think that's every coach's safe haven.
Man.
It is.
Throwing the headphones on and just blocking everybody out.
Yep. I don't really have to worry about nothing. My wife's screaming out, are you hungry? Are you thirsty? And I'm just holding on.
You know, that's the best thing about hunting, too. You go out in the woods.
Yeah.
And I don't care if I ever shoot anything.
Me either.
I just sit there and listen to the birds and the squirrels and just don't think about football.
Yeah, I was in a deer stand this year by myself for the first time, and I'm just sitting up there just chilling, just
That's
not
great.
think about anything. I didn't have anything on my mind. Literally listen to the squirrels crunch on the leaves, and heck of a time.
Oh, it's great.
Heck of a time.
Okay, man. We've had such a good time, man. And now let's get to why you were here.
Yeah.
Man, you are the new offensive coordinator at PRP High School here in Louisville, Kentucky. Man, you've been there a month and a half, right?
Yeah, month and a half.
Man, shout out some of your guys and who's on your staff,
Yeah,
man.
absolutely. So first and foremost, thank you to Brandon Dunn, former NFL guy. Did, I want to say, 7-8 years. Played for the Texans, played for the Chicago Bears. Did extremely well. Made it to his second contract, and that is very rare for a guy that's undrafted to make it to their second contract. That means there's a lot of perseverance, a lot of determination within that. So big shout out to him as well for the most part. But then also shout out to my guys that I'm able to coach with and build relationships with. So our quarterback coach is Trey McCoy. former coach at Fairdale with Coach Watson as well. He also played quarterback as well for the most part, so that's a good thing that we can add to our program, a quarterback coach, but then also a quarterback who has aspirations to be an offensive coordinator someday. And then secondly, our running back coach, Delvon Dunn. I think he played college ball at Kentucky Wesleyan, or I can't remember. He's going to shoot. He's going
to kill us both because I can't
both.
remember either.
Yeah, I can't remember. But he played college ball for 4 years, and he was also a phenomenal running back for PRP.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's in the Hall of Fame as well with his brother, with Brandon as well too. So he's going to be our running back coach, but then he's also going to be able to run our freshmen as well. He wants to do that as his younger son is starting to get up into. I think they're about to start moving here, and he's going to get up into that 6, 7, that junior high age as well. His son is a beast.
I am old.
Yeah, his son's a beast.
When your kids start having sons, that's crazy.
He looks just like him too. Oh, you can
Poor
really
guy.
feel old. Yeah.
Poor guy.
And then a big brother of mine, Jamon Brown, former NFL guard.
Oh yeah.
Made it to his second contract as well in NFL he played for multiple teams, was drafted by the Rams, made it to his second contract with the Atlanta Falcons, bounced around with the Patriots, Jets, whatever that looks like. He's going to be running our offensive line. So having some sort of college, high school, some sort of experience of that position to be able to coach the position is a big thing. And then, of course, myself, I'm not coaching tight ends. I'm very sensitive about tight ends. And you got to be a dude in order for me to coach you at tight end. So I'm going to give the tight ends to Delvon, to the running backs, so he can coach that. But if I don't got no dude, I'm not coaching no tight end because I'm very, very sensitive about that position. But I'll be calling plays, and then a bunch of just the athletes that we do have here, man. We have some unsung athletes, some very, very underrated guys who don't get who haven't gotten the acknowledgement. Rob Oates, Christian Yarborough, Christopher Finch as well, Big Colton. Like, we got some guys that are like the staple who can give us our first year something to look forward to PRP football and over here in this area to where it's going to be fun again. It was always fun, but giving us a different perspective on what football looks like for them because they've been in it for so long. So it's going to be a big time here.
Is Brandon running the defense?
Yeah, so Brandon's going to be calling plays. For the defense, also being the head coach as well. I'm trying to figure out if I want to be in the box again like I did for the past few years. I want to be on the field, so I'm trying to figure that out. But I told him I can't do the code anymore. I'm getting old, man.
Rainy days, and everybody's drowning down there, and you're nice and dry. It's great.
I was there last year for the 2 years. The past 2 years I was in the box. I mean, me and Coach Mo loved it up there. Had our space heater and everything up there.
And let me tell you, Cal has a spread of food for theirs. I mean, it's.
Yeah. That's why you didn't want to get out of the box.
Yeah, it's good time. Burgers up there, parents bringing you drinks. It was fun. It was fun.
Nice, man. Well, it's been an honor, man. Is there anything that you want to, you want to promote, man? You guys doing any fundraisers over there? Anything you guys, or you want to promote anything about for yourself, your podcast?
Yeah, for sure. So we're in the verge of, especially over at PRP, we're in the verge of trying to figure out different ways to bring the community together, especially in that area. I'm not for sure what Coach Tommy did, and I watched that episode. He freaking phenomenal. I love Tommy. I haven't met him before, and I want to meet him. Just get his viewpoint on how he did things as well. But we're on the verge of just trying to figure out creative ways to bring the community together. I think this year, instead of us doing a spring game, it's going to be a spring event for the community where we get food trucks out at the facility. Guys can come watch us play 7-on-7. We do a coaches versus players 7-on-7, stuff like that. Just give the community something to look forward to. Have a DJ out there, someone cooking too. So we're just trying to figure out different ways to kind of bring the community together.
Hey, I'll tell you, the community of PRP, there's not many community schools like PRP is one of them. Reach out. They'll help you. If you ask, they will help you.
Yeah, we good thing is, as far as myself, like being at Cal and being a good person that I am, like some of the parents, I didn't even notice, most of the parents who kids go to Cal graduated from PRP. And I'm like,
oh, wow.
Well, I'm talking about like people who are like CFOs of companies and work at Norton for 20 years and have this. So it's like going to be some of those things that I'm going to have to dig into those relationships just to kind of just see if they're willing to donate, still be able to come enjoy. We're going to change the environment around PRP. our former head, Jason Hillier is a police officer. I'm going to talk to him, just getting police around the facility as we're getting new turf. At PRP, brand new stadium, literally brand new stadium, like state of the art. I think we're probably going to be able to play on it on our first home game.
Oh wow.
So it's going to be huge for us. It just change the environment, making sure we keep things up to task. And then for myself, as far as that, I do have a podcast. It's called Through the Headset Podcast. It just talks about myself or others that I bring on and just talk about their story. Talk about how and why they are where they are. I had a bunch of connections with a bunch of coaches. I'm starting to this year, start a coaching series with some of the guys that I do know of who are willing and able to hop on for 20, 30 minutes, just talk about certain things, how they grew up, where they came from, what's it like being a college coach, why or why not you shouldn't be a coach or shouldn't be. So it's going to be very, very fun. But outside of that, man, I think this season's going to be fun for Pleasure Ridge Park, for the Ridge. It's going to be a lot to learn. I'm trying to throw a lot of things on the kids because I know they can learn it. They just have to. It just has to be a want to, and I think it with the guys that we have in the building, I think they want to do it because we've been in their shoes before. We understand what that looks like. We've been to the highest level. Maybe they don't even want to go to college or go to the NFL, but still they want to be able to be a part of a team, be a part of something before they walk out into the real world, because it gets real nasty in the real world. It's easy now before you turn 19 or get after ball. It's easy now. So just want to give them that aspect and stuff like that. But that environment's going to change around PRP. The image is going to change around PRP. I don't know a lot about Pleasure Ridge Park. The things that I did know was negative, and I'm like, man, I got here. I'm like, dude, what the heck? Like, this is the place to be. Like, what is going on? So I'm trying to figure out as to why that image has been the way it is for the past few years, which kind of sucks, but I don't know what it looks like. Maybe or whatever it looks like. So I don't know. So I'm just trying to be able to be a part of that change and be a part of something that's bigger than me too. So
there you go. I love it. This has been a phenomenal podcast. I appreciate you for coming on, taking this time, man. I know you're grinding right now, man.
It's okay.
But hell of a podcast. I enjoyed it. Like Coach and I said, if you ever need us for anything, man, we'll stream live at your place. Yeah. We'll come do player profiles. We're about to be on the road.
Yeah.
So whenever
we'll come to the spring event if you want to get somebody out there. I mean,
Brand is going to be available.
We'll at least plug it and get some people out there.
Yeah, Brand is going to be available. His wheels have been turning with just him trying to involve himself back into.
That's why we kind of backed off and let him. He's on our list.
Yeah,
we wanted him to get his feet wet.
I talked to him. He's good to go. He's literally like, I just gotta get into a comfortable state to where I'm like, I'm good to take a day off. And I don't think it's really no days off for him for the most part.
Right.
But he's just trying to get himself together, make sure the kids are good to go, make sure they have everything that they need to be successful. Because at the end of the day, if they don't got the things they need to be successful, they're not gonna play for you.
Yeah.
So he's literally like, I just want to make sure I got everything, literally everything. And I'm like, dude, you're never going to have everything. You're never going to have everything. But he's good to go, man. And I think he's going to be a value, another person that you guys can bring on, especially as a first-year head coach, and just ask him, how the heck are things going right now?
Right.
So I think he's going to be big. But I'll definitely make sure that we get you guys out to the spring event, just to at least showcase it. As well too, so for the most part.
Yeah, awesome, man. I love it. But like I said, you guys ever need anything from us, man, you got his number. Hit me up on Twitter. Do what we got to do to get you guys spotlighted, man. I'm very pumped up, very excited for you, man. Man, like I always say, everyone has a story. We're here for them to tell it. Cleats to Whistle podcast.